Hi there, I want to talk to you about one of my very favorite tricks, the multiplying bottles. I was taught it by Ken Brook when I was very young. I was probably about 13 at the time. He taught me in half-hour lessons, and he said, "Nicky, you'll always have a closer for your show if you learn this trick." And he was so right. And all these many years, over 50 years later, I still have a closer for my show when I choose to do it. And we made a DVD, and I wanted to really preserve Ken's routine. And I've also, having done it for 50 years, I've made a few changes myself to it. And it's, to my money, it is one of the great mini illusions in the world, the multiplying bottles. It's got everything. It's fast, it's action-packed. You can tell a client, oh, and then I end up by producing a dozen martini bottles. And they go, wow, okay, that means something. It's not another card trick. It's a great TV trick. I've performed it on Masters of Illusion, and I did it way back in 1980 for the first time on the Merv Griffin show. So I've wanted to make this DVD, and I wanted to make it to really capture what Ken taught me and what I see missing with people doing this trick. I get maybe 50, 60 hits a week on my blog, and people they see the multiplying bottles, they come, they look, and I've got one of those flashy little trailers that you have to have in the business now, 2 minutes with snippets of the trick in Vegas, snippets from TV, quotes, fancy cuts, and I'm starting to hate all that stuff. I wanted to actually just come out and tell you about what I teach and why I teach it. Because what made Ken's routine so special that I've managed to capture on this DVD is the fact that he had a plan for the way the bottles were produced. It was a 3-act format, beginning, middle, ending. And when he started to produce the bottles, the pace increased and increased. And it's not the world's greatest trick. Let's be honest. If you're looking for the trick that's going to fool people, this may not be up there as being the most mystifying. Boy, it makes them clap, though. It makes them watch. It gets their attention. And that's what you're looking to do. It's got noise, action, movement, flash, color. But often that is lost because the performer produces the bottles, and then the natural thing is to produce them. Then you're still working with the tubes in the background. And suddenly there's a line of bottles right in front of the action that's going on. Now, this looks great to the performer. You're looking at this and you're looking from the back, not from the audience's viewpoint, but they're cut off from actually seeing what's changing and what's happening with those bottles, the productions. And Ken's routine just keeps moving. Those tubes are turned upside down. There's apparently no way it can be done. The moment they think there's some simple solution, there's a subtle little technique that Ken will put in just to go, oh, it can't be that. How's that? And it goes right the way through, and then it ends up, as it speeds up towards the end, you end up with 2 bottles being produced at the same time, then 2 glasses, then 2 glasses on top of bottles. And it's a really wonderful trick. It's 4 minutes time is what it takes me to do, and it's a wonderful 4 minutes. You shouldn't drag it out for more than that. You should go into it and make it really punch. And a lot of other things that I talk about on the DVD that people don't realize. There's very specific bottles. I'm not going to go into details here, but there are techniques in making these bottles that make it possible to perform the effect in a totally different fashion, where the bottles really are produced quickly, and instantaneously, rather than there being any delay and having to think about it. You have to think about the table that you're using. I talk about 2 different kinds of tables. I closed every show I had in Las Vegas for 5 years with this trick. And I had a big table, it was great, and it had a special feature at the end, which I teach, that gave it an extra punch. But on the other hand, if you're going on the road, well, you need another table that's solid. You are going to produce 9 martini bottles. You always tell the client 12, but you actually produce 9. And you have to have a table that can travel, that's solid, that can move. You need to be able to know how to set the table, how to get the table off stage so there's no problems. You don't want bottles falling over. You have to have something to get into the trick. It's a trick that has got a lot of charm, but to get into it is another matter. I teach my personal method of doing that, a different trick that is just perfect solution for it. So I'm excited about this DVD. I wanted to talk directly about it, tell you what I offer, what we have on our DVD, because I know people want to do this trick, and I know they're not getting a chance to learn it correctly. And when you have that chance, you're going to have a routine you use a lot, all the time, and it's going to be a great closer for you forevermore too. So thank you for listening, and yes, we've got the flashy little DVD. It's on the website. I highly recommend it, and it is Nick Lewin Teaches the Ken Brook Multiplying Bottle Routine. Thank you.